So, what advice would I give to my younger self, soon to be turning 20? And this is not something like a random thing. So, around June, like around my birthday time, I actually thought, okay, you know what, there is a bucket list and there's something like going on a solo movie day that I haven't done. So I went there and I watched Obsession and everything was amazing. I had my favorite large mixed salted caramel popcorn the with a slush, and it was the whole experience. I loved it. When I was going back, I actually met this group of three girls, and they actually helped me with something. But when I actually shared being so distraught that I was sharing with almost everyone, I shared with them, you know what, I'm turning 29 and, stuff like that. And they were like, oh, and they were actually soon to be turning 20. And one of them asked me that, okay, so what advice would you give us, like, as three girls who are soon to be turning 20? And I was taken aback. Taken aback, not in a sense that I don't want people approaching and I don't want people asking questions, but I think in a sense that I I didn't ever thought about it. At that moment, I just felt that, okay, this is something I haven't thought about it, right? And the whole lift down, I was just thinking, contemplating, even then said that, okay, so sorry for to put you in this awkward situation. I was like, no, no, that's not it. I'm just thinking about that if I were if I were to apply the same question to me, like what advice would I give my soon to be turning 20-year-old? What would I tell myself, right? So that's basically how I'm thinking about it. So as we got out of the list, I told them, yes, so if you're someone who has the spirit of being an entrepreneur, and so don't get into the culture of being part of that big organization because you think that those are the one that defines you. So if you are someone who wants to, build their own thing, so just do that. Don't just follow people, the norm that you have to be part of the corporate, even though that's something that doesn't resonate with you. The second thing I told them that, you are going to be part of a group relationship, for example, an organization, or maybe connected with something, right? Um, but in that, if you see yourself not be your, authentic self in terms of what your morals are, who you are as a person, the beliefs and everything, then be okay with stepping out, stepping away from that situation, the relationship, because if something is not helping you grow, helping you be more in tune with your aspirations, where you want to go, maybe it's time that you actually, step away, and maybe, and that should be okay for you. And you know what? Amazing, great advices. But it actually felt as if that, yes, I gave them advice, but there was something like that I wasn't able to connect with. So I thought, you know what, amazing question. I'm going to write about it because just writing would really help me. So break down my thoughts, and I would just journal about it and share on my Instagram page. And, as a way of, maybe by extension, it helps people. But as the writing about it, I wasn't able to think like what I really would want, right? What would I tell myself? And this one day, I actually uh, I actually traced back my steps and went to that time when I was talking to my therapist, and she actually planned out this whole scenario for me, right? And if you're listening, or even if you're watching, like, you can actually take a part in this because it's really amazing, right? So she basically asked me to close my eyes. She asked me to, you know what, imagine you're entering into a space. And that space can be like your space, right? It can be a beach, it can be a garden, it can be a room, it can be anything, right? So she asked me to enter that space, that whole scenario, because I would say is completely etched in my mind, right? So, and she asked, okay, when you enter, now imagine that your younger self is over there, right? And and I was like, okay. And she asked me, okay, now what are you going to say to her and anything? And you know what? If you are actually taking a part in this, you can actually stop, pause it. Um, and then I can like share with you the whole thing that basically led me to answering this question. So the thing is that when she asked me, my whole scenario was actually painted by the what I was living or going through at that time. For me, it was a very dark place, and the imagination was exactly like that, like a dark place. And I was there, just you know what, crouched, and my younger self was there, and she asked me what you would do, and I said to her, um, I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't say anything. I would just go and hug myself. And as I told her that point, uh, a tear trickled down my eyes, and I realized how much I needed that throughout my life, and how much I craved it, even like growing up. Like for me, it was that yes, yes, I've been through problems. Yeah, yes, I've been through, you know, the steepest of slopes. I've been through the depression when it comes to, you know what, when it comes to even the situation, and then literal as well. So I was like, okay, even if I've been through, one thing I needed was that someone to be there to tell me it's okay. Like, I'm here, it's okay, it's going to work out. And that's when it clicked. It was like regardless of what you are going through, regardless of, for example, you are not working on, when it comes to the corporate world, you lost a job, you gained a bonus, you gained a promotion, you entered into a relationship, a very healthy relationship, you discovered this new set of friends that you completely adore, um, or or simply as if you got reconnected with your best people, right? And but that's the thing. If the time and if the situations are fleeting, and you don't even know that where time is going and how situation is going to end up and what it would be like. So you know what, the advice, like, now it becomes clear to me, is that regardless of whoever is available for you, just make sure that you are available for yourself. So you know what? Throughout growing up my life, I wanted someone to be available for me. I connected with people. Okay, they defined me. And then even like when I was building, like I really wanted to start a business, I just wanted someone to be there, right? Like I would talk to my friends, I would just go to them, I was asked, and I would make a plea that please start a business with me, please, 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 please. And this one time, a friend actually did say yes to me, but it was as if like she was actually helping me. But then again, definitely when it comes to different personalities and everything like that, it didn't work out. And at the same time, I really wanted like someone there. But I think when I'm now with that question, and when I look back in retrospect, one thing I ever needed was me in that sense, right? Yes, when it comes to my relationship with God, that comes before everything in that sense, right? So I'm not saying that I'm totally cut off from that. What I'm trying to share is that in this world that you live in, if you are connected with, if you are, for example, if there is a void, or if there is like you need someone for something, anything, people need, because people need other people for different things. But if you want that, comfort, someone to be there, like, yeah, it's okay that if you have someone and that's like amazingly working out for you, that's great. But most important is that you are there with yourself. You love, yes, but you, at the same time as you're going through your next part, you appreciate and you respect yourself from the things you have been through. And only then that the quiet part of you, that part of you, the childhood, that the child in you that needed someone, or maybe even if you don't need someone in that way, like in my same situation, but if you actually need that warmth, that comfort, yes, it's okay to look into other people for that. But more importantly, it's that you are there for yourself. And I have learned this a very hard way, with no one around me in my lowest of lows, and in my, the I would say the bottom of the rock bottom. I know it can be different thing for different people, but then again, when I didn't find anyone, I basically found myself, and I know that the every world right now is out there and it's telling us, okay, all you need is yourself, all you need is yourself. And I don't concur with that part at all. I'm not saying that all you need yourself. What I'm trying to say is the first person you need is yourself, so that whatever relationship, whatever, I would say, people or anything that comes in, that becomes an addition to how much you are there with yourself, how much you love yourself, and how much you respect yourself in that way. So that everything that follows is an addition to that. Like, even if relationship, if you are, taking care of yourself in that way, trust me when I say that people not only would admire you for it, but at the same time, people would go to extra lengths just so that, just to maybe catch up, or maybe just have a conversation with you in that way. And that's how attuned you should be for yourself. Because, yes, like as time is fleeting, as I already said, people are, um, mortal in that sense. Relationships ends, people, we lose people and all of that. And yes, sometimes you can have people who can take care of you, but if you are not there for yourself, in taking care of yourself, or respecting or loving yourself in that way, then how do you think even you can think of other person to do that for you, when you haven't even figured out that what makes you happy, what makes you comfortable? So if I were to meet those three girls again, I would tell them that first thing is that before, like, as you are moving on to your life, as you are going to have this amazing experiences, just make sure that you don't forget yourself. Not only forget in that way, but you don't you don't miss out on knowing who you are. Because when you know who you are, then that's only when you recognize your strengths, you recognize your weakness, and the whole journey that you are building yourself. Yes, you're going to find people throughout your journey. It's not going to be just you, it's going to find people throughout your journey who are going to accept you the way you are, and you won't even need to pretend, because you have been so comfortable in your own skin that there is no need to pretend. All there is that you keep building not only yourself but more like a space surrounding you where you are who you are, and you are happy with the beliefs, morals you have, because you have connected with yourself in a way that no human and relationship can actually deter to that, because you know that even if you lost everything, you know that the person at the end of the day I come back to is myself, and I do enjoy my company when I sit with myself. So and that's completely fine. So that's something I would give advice to those three girls soon to be turning 20. Maybe they're already 20, I don't know. So yeah.